We got a skate park, news about the Xbox release, new object dropper features, some new slide animations, skate-like controls, and more. Stay tuned. Quick note before we get started here, if you modded the game before this update, you're gonna have to unpatch it, otherwise you won't be able to play, for now anyways. There should be a way to unpatch using easy peasy. After you unpatch, the game should load up. If for some reason it doesn't, you can go to this specific location right here, and you should see session. All you have to do is just delete that folder, go back into Steam, and reinstall. Fresh install should fix it all. Session update version 0.0.0.3 is finally out. We got a lot to go over, so let's get this started. The first thing I want to talk about, and the thing that everyone's been asking, Xbox news. So it looks like Creature Studios has teamed up with a local studio named Logica, and they're going to be the ones in charge of making the Xbox port. And they're saying that the game preview should be available by spring. That's pretty soon. So no confirmed exact date, but at least you have a time frame now. Spring 2020. And we still can't skate the pool. Why? All you gotta do is just take away this barrier and let us skate. At least let us skate that rail. Push the barrier back a little. And in case you're wondering, no, the replay editor has not had any fixes yet. I know they're going to be working on it, so don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. But for the time being, it's going to be the exact same as it was in the previous version. Sorry. So another thing a lot of people have been asking for is online multiplayer. We're kind of able to do that now. You can use remote play and play a game of skate. So if you go down to experimental game of skate, number of players, but you have to activate remote play first on Steam. It's not going to allow you to like skate with your friends in here. Like you're not going to see another character over here or anything. It'll just be kind of like taking turns. So one thing you're going to notice in this update is the skater orientation after doing a 180 into a grind or just 180 on flat or off anything. Before, when you did a 180 and landed, you would like land and continuously look behind you, just be very creepy. In this version, when you land, he instantly starts looking the proper direction. So right about there, his head starts to turn properly. Nose manual reverts look pretty sick too. Let's get a little back 180 nose grind here. See how that looks. Okay, so there's the 180 as soon as he locks in, turns his head. All right, looking good. Look at those wheels spinning. For those who listen to the in-game radio, there's 5 new artists and 11 more tracks. I don't get to listen to music while I record these. YouTube doesn't like it. Let's take a look at some of the new options. So this entire area is now different. Ooh, so there's assisted, easy, default, hardcore. We're gonna talk about this for a second. Legacy preset is gonna be just like the skate controls. A lot of people have been wanting skate controls in this game. Honestly, I never thought they would actually do it. So when you're using this preset, it's gonna allow you to use the left thumbstick to navigate and rotate. So you don't have to use the triggers anymore. You can actually just use the stick to turn. And then you can do all of your tricks with the right thumbstick, just like in Skate. So you can have your own custom speed for body rotation. So pressure is going to be how much pressure you apply, determines how fast you spin. Speed is how fast you press it. So if I just whip the stick left, it's going to just spin really fast. And then timed is going to be how long it takes you to fully actually press it to either direction. Now, don't worry, they are not getting rid of the session controls at all. This is just an extra customization option. I guess it's to kind of help people transition from playing skate to playing session. So you can have catch mode on auto if you want. You can have it on manual. You'll still have to do the same inputs. So if I put it on manual, oh, this is going to be so weird. This is going to be weird. Okay. So down on the right stick. Up on the right stick. It's gonna make me ollie. Oh, I'm trying to use the triggers to turn. It doesn't do anything. All right, yeah, left stick is move. Oh. You gotta kind of like wiggle the left stick to revert. So to do a kickflip, you do it exactly the same as in Skate, just down on the right stick and then left. And then you do an extra input to be able to catch it. So you have to kind of like flick it up. Okay, if you press down on the left stick, you do a power slide. I keep trying to use the triggers. No, I want the triggers. Using this preset is going to come at a cost. There's certain tricks you won't be able to do just yet, so pressure flips aren't in it. If you try to do any pressure flips, it's not going to work. I don't think you can, like, varial flip in this. Yeah, unless I'm doing it wrong, I don't think you can do, like, varials or 3 flips in this. One of the devs did confirm that you can do 3 flips on Legacy mode and varials. I just apparently suck at them. It's gonna be brutal when I go back to play Skate 3. I'm sure you Skate players are gonna figure out these controls. I've gotten so used to the session ones that right now it's just hurting my brain to try to play session with the Skate 3 controls. So if you're already used to session with the session controls, stick to that. Casual grind is gonna let you grind the ledges a lot easier a little bit more forgiving. Having auto grind on is going to make it so you can just grind without having to do any inputs. The new one in the grind setting list is trick relative input. Okay, so let's say you want to turn this one on. So say if I get into a tail slide, my controls kind of shift 90 degrees. So what I did right here is I would press down on the left stick because your foot's going to be kicking backwards and not forwards, if that makes any sense. If you were to flick the stick to the left, it's just going to pop out because it's sliding your front foot left, so towards the nose. But when you press it down, your foot flicks it, so it gives it that little flick down. But if you have this turned off, no matter what grinder slide you're in, the controls are going to remain the same. So a kickflip on flat is going to be the exact same input as a kickflip out of a frontside tail slide. I think since I've gotten used to it, I think I like having this on. Before I get into the new revert setting, there is another little feature here. So in the old version, when you landed sideways, you would automatically just like kind of go in that direction. In this version, your board disappears. But in this version, if you land slightly sideways, you're gonna bail, instead of just zooming off to the other direction. So if I land this backside flip perfectly, I'll just ride away clean. Now in the revert settings, there's a new one called auto revert. If you have this disabled, you have to revert on your own using the triggers or, using the stick if you're on legacy mode. If you set it to on bail, okay, so let's say I under rotate it back 180. It's automatically going to revert to make me go the right way so I don't bail out. Okay, so if you have this set to always, I think it's pretty much the same. Oh. Nope. So if I do a 90-degree turn, it's automatically going to make me go the proper direction. All right, so it just automatically realigns you. That's pretty cool. So the bail one's only going to happen when you're about to bail, and always is going to make sure you're always going straight. Next little feature is big drop landing. So if you enable this, you have to do an extra input before you land. So let's see how high I actually have to be before I even have to do an input. I'll do an ollie off this just to test. No input. Okay, so off something around that high, I guess. Hang on, let's see if I can ollie off this without any input. Okay, so off something like this, you're fine. You don't have to do an input. But off something like this, above your head, I guess, you have to do a little bit of an input. So if you're regular, you're going to press down on the right stick and up on the left stick. And that's going to level you out and you're going to be able to land it. What if I don't hold it? Okay, so you do need to actually hold it until you land. If you're goofy, it's going to be opposite. It's going to be left stick down and right stick up. So let's just try that out now. Yep, works. They did rework the rotations a little bit. They still take a lot of getting used to, but they're a lot smoother now. They also reworked Smiths and Feebles and Wheelie Grinds and all that to make everything a little bit more stable. So they're a lot easier to get into now. So in a previous video, I went back to an older version of Session before it was released on early access, and I showed off an alternate version of this map where they had this thing completely extended out. There were stair sets, kinked rails, and all that. If you go down to experimental and then go to map layout, you can actually choose what kind of map layout you want. So if you want the unloaded version, which is this version right here, with all the stairs like kind of attached to the wall and you can't really skate them. If you go to the loaded version, however, we gotta start all the way back at the start. Oh yeah, another thing, so I guess I can show this off here. Better physics in transition has been added, but that does not mean that transition skating has been added. So no vert skating yet, no mini ramp, none of that stuff, just stuff that makes sense. So say if I'm going like really fast here, and then I start pushing up, it's gonna slow down a little bit, and then speed back up. I mean, I feel like it gave me a little bit more boost than it really should have there, but it still slows you down as you go up a slope, and then as you go down the slope, you do gain a lot more speed, as you're supposed to. And I saw a quarter pipe in the Creature Park, which is where I'm gonna go later in this video. On the way back there, I'm gonna mention that the skater actually adapts to the grinds as they change now. So like backside nose grind to backside nose blunt, it's gonna actually adapt. So as you can see, his body's angled for a backside nose grind, and then as he turns, you can see his body shift, and his arms shift, and everything kind of adapts to the back nose blunt. Also, I'm pretty sure you can do double grinds a lot better now. First try. Oh, I dipped a lot there. So pretty much what I did there is I just double tapped one of the triggers. So since this was backside for me, I did double tap on the left trigger. Then it activates you to be able to pop over. And then when you pop, you can land in another grind. That just opened up so many freaking doors. This is ridiculous. Well, that was ridiculous. I can have fun with this later, but for right now, let's go check out that alternate version of the Brooklyn banks. And here we are, a completely exaggerated version of the banks. Got a kinked rail here, kinked rail there, big stair set. That's fun to skate. So much better skating it in this version than it was in the previous one that I did, because everything was like broken in there. Oh, one thing that's missing is the picnic table that used to be here, so they changed it a little bit. The previous video, I did a switch front crook up that. Continued my line. What else is different here? Oh, this whole little section is different. This wasn't here before. What is this still doing here? I was manualing that bus in a live stream. Okay, so to enter the Creature Park, there's 3 ways you can enter it, as far as I know. So if you go in here directly across from the 13, these doors take you to the Creature Park. And if you come over here to the 9 set, these doors over here take you to the Creature Park. And then the 3rd way is go to select map and you can choose either underground parking or the Creature Park. All right, here we go. Oh, so this is a beefier version of the Creature Park that was released to the backers of the Kickstarter. Damn. There's a roll in here. Little manual pad. Is that? Oh, it's a step up. Okay, step up to manual pad. I think the first thing I got to get down this rail right here is a kickflip back Smith. Oh, that looked nice. Oh, look at this. Here's a quarter pipe. Wonder how high up you can go on that. Okay, we're doing some tests now. How high on vert can you go? Okay, pretty high. Just under 90 degrees. And then you die. Seems about accurate. Let's go for a switch tray on the wall. All right. Well, there's so much to skate down here, but it's pretty dark. Hang on, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Turn up the brightness. There we go. Okay, so one thing that you might notice in here, especially if you've submitted any art, there's supposed to be community art all over this park. There's an upstairs. Here's that kinked rail from the teaser. If you have any art that you want to submit, there's a link in the description for the session Discord. Once you're in the Discord, look for a text channel called Artwork Submissions. Submit your art there and the devs go through them and pick their favorites. They'll message you and then eventually your art could be in the game. Gotta get something down this double kinked rail. How about the knack? We'll bust that out. Why not? Boosh. Yeah, there's a lot of differences between this park and the original park. Still no prison area though. Oh yeah, so a little bit about the object dropper. There's a few things that have been changed. So when you first get an item and try to rotate it, a blue ring is gonna show up. That means it's gonna spin horizontally, so it'll just kind of spin in place like this. If you click in the right stick, you're gonna notice that it's red. That's gonna spin vertically. Kind of looks funny. That's pretty cool though. And when you see the green one, it just means it's gonna, you know, rotate sideways. And this goes with every object here. Now, if you click in the left stick, you'll be able to move it up and down using the triggers. So I can raise it by using the right trigger. Oh, bye-bye. So right trigger is gonna raise it, left trigger is gonna lower it. And you can place it anywhere you want now, instead of having to rely on it, like, you know, teetering on some random objects. Pretty unrealistic, but it's gonna help create some pretty awesome spots. Also get some interesting lighting now. Another thing that they worked on was making the tricks a little bit more responsive. All right, I think it's time to adventure upstairs. Can I wanna grind this whole thing. What's up here? Ooh. Okay, so we got a little launch ramp here to a nice high ledge. This reminds me a lot of La Taz in Montreal, where it's like you got the main park downstairs, and then up here you kind of got like your mini section or your DIY stuff. All it's missing is a big, huge bowl here. This looks like something you would find in a town that has a skate park not designed by skaters. I'm sorry, Mark, that's not meant to be offensive. Or whichever one of the devs actually designed this. No offense. So I'm not gonna do too much in this park for this video. I'm gonna save all that for another video. Ooh. Oh, is this gonna be like an awesome epic gap? Yep. Okay, so here into the bank. I wanna know if I even made it into the bank. No, I died. Oh, I kinda missed the option to have it like rotate on another object, but I'll probably miss that a lot less soon. All right, into the bank. Up. I just did it blind there. I was just kind of guessing where the bank was. Now that I know where it is, I really want to see if I can actually make it all the way down on this rail. I gotta be able to, right? Try board slide. Oh, there's a gap in the rail. Oh, don't know why, but I'm thinking a 50-50 might work instead. Not really. Nope. It's not happening. All right, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoy session version 0.0.0.3. And until next time, this is JL Nightmare, and you'll see me in the next video.